Hey, I'm Scott Gaeta, president and publisher of Renegade Game Studios, and I think I'm going to answer some questions about Overlight. What made me decide to say yes to picking up Overlight? So that's a bit of a story. I love RPGs, and I've been playing role-playing games, like most people since middle school. Played D&D and played Shadowrun and Vampire and all sorts of different things. And I started Renegade, and I was, my intent was to publish board games. But I really like role-playing games. But board games are really the hot thing, and that's what I was going to focus on. And then I hired Sarah Erickson, and one of the first things I told her when I hired her was, Sarah, one of your job responsibilities is to keep me from publishing a role-playing game, because as much as I love them, it's probably not the best use of my time. Then you fast forward about 6 months after she was hired, and I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana at a distributor open house, and I was sitting down with Paul and George, and they were telling me about this idea that they had for Overlight. Totally unsolicited, we were just sitting around talking, and they said they had this whole thing about Overlight, and they gave me the pitch, and it wasn't really a pitch. We were just having fun and talking, and I said, we should make that. Let's make a role-playing game, and Renegade will publish their first role-playing game, and we'll make Overlight. And I turned to Sarah and I said, you failed. And that was the end of that. So now we're making role-playing games, and we're starting with Overlight. Good job, Sarah. What is my favorite part of Overlight? My favorite part is really probably how crazy and different it is. I like how we break all those boundaries. It's not about all your typical fantasy tropes. As much as I love elves and orcs and all those things, it's just different. We've got races that are really cool, the imagination that's gone into it, how it really truly feels like you're exploring new worlds, places that you've never been before. They seem familiar enough that you're comfortable, but it's new and it's fresh and it's exciting. And the first time I played the introductory adventure that's in the book, it was just amazing. Like, we had such a good time, and that adventure was over and we were ready to play again. We wanted to play a campaign, but it was really just us playing the game for the first time to try it out. So that was a little disappointing because I just wanted to keep playing every week. So what does Renegade plan to do in the future for Overlight? So we're going to start off with the core book, and that's going to come out. We're also doing a dice set that has all the chroma dice, one for each virtue. So you'll get all of those as a box set. We're doing a Game Master screen that's gonna have a booklet in there that explains and kind of explores some of the other factions in the world, maybe some of the enemies that you'll encounter. After that, there will be more books. I think George and Paul will talk on their own a little bit about what we have in store. More books exploring the different shards and the different races and factions and what you can do throughout the game. We're also going to be supporting Overlight at summer conventions here in the US, conventions hopefully in other countries when we're traveling there, and also have representatives in those countries. We already have interest in Overlight with some localization partners. Nothing's finalized yet, but we're pretty close. Hopefully you'll be seeing Overlight in different languages. We're also exploring some different weird, crazy products. And like we said at the very beginning, we're not just launching Overlight as a role-playing product, we're launching it as a gaming world. So we have long-term plans to support Overlight as a role-playing game and to keep coming out with books and expand the world and the campaigns and the stories. And I think George and Paul will give you a little bit of insight into what they have planned long-term for the story, but we're also gonna do other games within the Overlight world where you can explore and experience Overlight from a different point of view through different types of gameplay besides role-playing games. So if you're interested in role-playing games and you've enjoyed what Renegade has done so far, I would really ask you to take a look at Overlight. I think that if you're a role-playing player or somebody that really enjoys story and the fantastic, Overlight is something that you should check out. We're gonna do a lot of fun things with it, and we'd like to take you along for the ride.